Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace, this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And today, like other Storytimes, we're here to read you folks some homegrown horrors. Adam, why don't you tell us what those are?
Homegrown horrors are the wonderful stories that you folks have sent to us, which we sincerely appreciate, and they can include topics such as paranormal, supernatural, true crime, coincidental, sometimes just silly. But if someone had a story they want to send us, Robin, where can they do it? So,
you can email us at storytime@scariest.com, and you can also go to our website, scariest.com. There's a contact us page. There's a form you just fill out, and it emails it to us that way. You can also contact us on any of our social media platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff.
Indeed. So we're going to be reading 4 stories tonight, so get strapped on, because it's going to be fun. Am I going to go first, or are you going to go first?
I didn't even look at my stories, so you can choose.
I guess I'm going first.
Okay.
So, my first story, and the first story of the show, is subjected as reoccurring dreams. Starts out like this. Hi, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Stephanie, and I've been listening to your podcast on Spotify for a few months now. Shout out Spotify. Starting all the way on your very first episode. It makes my workday and school days more enjoyable and spooky at the same time. It's been so fun to listen to you guys get more comfortable recording and improve over time. Thanks. I think we were better before, but thank you.
What? You think we're better before?
I think we had better topics to start with.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So, I don't know, more compelling content. I think we do a pretty good job nowadays, though. Anyways, we did a pretty good job back then.
Okay.
The stories I would like to share with you are about reoccurring dreams I have had over the years. The first one I initially had as a teenager, and I am now 21, so safe to say this is why I drink now. And I still remember it well because that shit is terrifying. Please feel free to share this on the podcast if you'd like. Number 1. I was in a factory-like setting, very industrial in design, but the entire dream had a red hue to it, and I could vaguely see what was in front of me. I knew instinctually that I had to run from whatever else lurked in this building with me, so I did. I was sprinting in my dream, weaving through metal and other oddities that blocked my path. I never looked back to see what exactly was pursuing me. That would mean certain death, but I knew it was fast and quickly gaining on me. I could not hear the creature, but more so sense it. I was climbing up through a small opening between 2 pieces of machinery, and I came to a startling realization: I was stuck. By then, I knew whatever beast was following me had found me, and I was done for. That was when I would wake up. I don't remember much else of that night, but I do know that I said, fuck that shit, and went to scroll through Instagram for a while. While I have not had that exact same dream since, I still have dreams of unknown or unseen things pursuing me. I get more cardio in my dreams than I do in real life.
I think it's funny that you're brave enough to get onto Instagram after, because I know when I have a bad dream, I don't...
She thinks it carries over into the real world.
I just don't want to open my eyes. I'm too afraid of opening my eyes, so I will literally roll over towards the inside of the bed and kind of like pull the blankets up and hide underneath. You know what I mean? I don't have the courage to actually open my eyes to do anything.
I typically know she had a bad dream because she's like actually laying towards me. She typically lays away from me or on her back or in all these various different shapes and weird positions to take over the entire bed. But if she's laying curled up, aiming at me, I try and like rub her back if I see her. She's usually asleep by then and be like, everything's okay. Because I know she had a bad dream. If I have a bad dream, I'm like, wake up. I like shake her. I'm like, here's exactly what happened. It was horrifying. I'm going back to sleep now. And I like leave her with the horror of my dream, and I go back to sleep like peacefully because I was able to get it off my chest.
Well, sometimes when you do have a dream, I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, she's like
no,
she's
right.
not compassionate at all most times. Like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, I saw my whole family murdered before me. Rough. Cool. Just like, okay, cool. I'm going back to sleep, and hopefully you're dying in this one. Not really. Okay, number 2. This next dream I recognized as a reoccurring one while in the dream, in parentheses, dream deja vu. I was with my boyfriend and some other friends of ours, and we were checking out a house, maybe to do some adult shit with it, like buy it, I don't know. But as we were looking through this house, I had an eerie and dread-filled feeling about the house. At some point, I obtained the knowledge that if we did not leave the house alone or outrun whatever spirit had latched onto us, then we would all die. I don't remember how I got this piece of ever so helpful info in the dream, but I have the sense it was told to me. It was at this point that I recognized the dream, that I had gotten to know this but never been able to successfully evade the spirit. It is important to note that we did not just have to leave the house, but we had to physically put distance between us and the spirit after us, as in leave the city. Armed with that, we all piled into a car and were arguing where to go while stuck in dream traffic when the car fell silent. I knew it was there. I turned to the back seat and saw the creature sitting in the back seat alone. It was almost dog-like, but it had all white eyes and a smile too big for its face. It started making a sound like a hyena, but more shrill and louder.
To me, hyenas just laugh.
Yeah, that's
I don't
really
know.
weird.
I wonder what.
It's already pretty shrill and high-pitched, so...
I'm trying to remember what they sound like, but all I...
Think of as the Lion King?
No, my reference is like that episode of Buffy where they get taken over by the hyena spirits.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm going to keep going with this. You can think of more
go.
episodes of Buffy to compare it to.
Okay.
I could still hear its laugh echoing when I woke up. Luckily, it was daytime, so I went to go cry to my boyfriend about it in the living room. There are a few more dreams that I cannot remember too well right now to write about, but I do have some funny stories involving spooks and tricks, and also a friend's story involving her young child. That sounds terrifying. P.S. It's hilarious when you guys banter about your age gap. My boyfriend was born in 89, meanwhile I was born in 98. So he grew up with the original Atari and Macintosh, and I grew up with Dell computers. What's hilarious is all the things you're saying he grew up with, Robin acts like she's never heard of, but they were born the same fucking year. Just saying. Did you grow up with them? An Atari and a Macintosh?
No.
There you go. And he was born the same year as her.
My first system was an SNES, so...
All right. I grew up with Dell computers in my house all my life and the Xbox, so Adam, don't feel too bad about Robin being younger than you by a few years. My boyfriend feels the same and worse. Hashtag cradle robber solidarity. And to Robin, hashtag keep making them feel old.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for the laughs. I'll tune in next time. Steph.
Aw, thank you so much for sending that.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Sometimes dreams just can freak you out because they're so vivid, you know?
Yeah. It's weird sometimes too because you see things, you don't quite remember them. And then when you're in a dream, you're like, I've seen this before.
Yes.
And that sort of triggers the fact in your brain every now and then that you know you're dreaming. And sometimes it's just like, I've been here before, and you realize you're in a recurring dream. So
I think the dreams that stick with you, though, like where you wake up and you're like, this just happened and you know every single detail.
Right.
And
you just somehow don't forget it. A lot of times dreams just fade away right away.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just remember everything. Also, like, the songs you grow to like never stick at first. But I'm writing you a chorus, and here's your verse.
We love Fall Out Boy, if you didn't know.
There you go. Someone knew that song, and everyone else is like, what is he talking about? All right. Thank you so much one more time for sending that in.
This next email begins, Hi-yo, Scary-ish household.
Hi-yo.
Hello. We're the Scary-ish household.
Hey, Ohio. Howdy ho. How diddly hi. That's not how he says it.
Isn't it like Heidi Ho neighbor?
Tidy ho neighbor. Well done.
Honestly, I've never watched Simpsons, so I
was just thinking about that episode where he's showing off his physique in the ski outfit, where he's like, it feels like I'm wearing nothing at all, and you just see his ass. And then later on in the episode, Homer's skiing and he can't remember how to stop. He's like, what did that guy say? And the guy's like, if you need to stop, just nothing at all. And like Flanders' butt pushes him out of the way. He's like, stupid sexy Flanders. That's what just happened in my head. So
okay.
All right.
Apologies. Continuing on. This will be short and sweet. I'm a rather suspicious person and have little things I've always done. For example, I lock all doors closed at night and all lights on in just our closets. Okay, so...
Put all lights on.
That's interesting. Why? I'm curious. Why you want to leave all the lights on in the closets? Maybe night lights? Oh, wait, hold on. It continues. Don't ask me when it started because my dad told me I've done it since I was a kid. All right. Again, long story. A couple nights ago, I was shutting doors and saw exactly why I keep the closet lights on. Something skittered across the closet door in our guest room. Interesting. So I just imagine, like, you see the light coming out from underneath and you just see something
go by.
Yeah. It's like something out of a horror
movie. And you hear, like, skitter, skitter, skitter.
Okay. I froze and stared at the light that shined under the closet door, and there it went again, another skitter across the light. I prepared myself and walked to the door because I'm not going to call for my husband like a punk bitch.
That's so good, dude.
I threw open the door and heard a hiss. Oh my lord. I screamed, then something clawed into my foot and I cried out again. My husband came running and I looked ridiculous with a bleeding foot because the cat got stuck in the closet.
That's so funny.
Oh, poor thing. Nothing spooky, it's just a dumbass cat pacing on the other side of a closet door. Love and laughter always, Jay Valor. That is so freaking funny. I
would also like to point out when Robin said, "Aw, poor thing," it wasn't about you and your foot. It was 100% about that cat being stuck in the closet. I guarantee that. Am I right?
Yeah, we've only locked the cat in the closet once, and I felt so bad.
Did we?
Closet in Arizona. It was in Arizona. We accidentally closed the bedroom door, the bedroom closet door with her in it. She pooped inside the laundry basket. I was going to say,
I don't feel that bad about it. She definitely got back at me for doing that. She shit in my dirty laundry. It was disgusting.
It was so gross. But yeah, no, it's just, that is so freaking funny because that's totally something a cat would do where it's like, you're releasing me? Fuck you.
Yeah. I'm going to bite the shit out of you. Thank you, Savior. So that's so funny. Thank you for sending that in. I love the coincidental ones where it's like something scary didn't really happen. I just got really scared. So right on. So before we move into our next story, we are going to take a really quick commercial break. And we're back. All right, so I'm going to move into my second email of the show, and this one's subject is sleep paralysis. Lots of sleep paralysis this episode. Starts out like this. Salutations yet again, good Sir Adam and good Lady Robin. It's the nicest
that is
hello
very
we've
nice.
gotten, I think. My mom once told me of when her and my dad had been very early in their relationship, and my dad had just signed a rental agreement on a house that was located across the street from a cemetery. I've been wanting my mom to tell me the story again recently so I could send it in, but she won't retell it, so I'm sending what I can remember of it. It's because it scares her. That's why she won't say it again.
Ooh.
She and my dad had spent a good portion of the day painting and fixing up the house to their liking. My dad needed to go to work, but my mom said she would be fine there and kept working if she needed to. They had already set a couch and had most of the living room set up, so my mom figured it was okay to continue working on the house, and she could relax in the living room when she needed a break. I also remember my mom said they had this house set up very cute, beautiful colors, although I can't remember all of the description, but both her and my dad were pleased with the progress being made to this house, their home. Eventually, my mom did need a break and went to the living room and laid down on the couch. She didn't remember nodding off, but knew she had, as she awakened to a feeling of somebody sitting on her, trying to choke her, and she was not able to fight them off due to what I now know to be sleep paralysis, and her description being that she just couldn't move. I don't remember how she said she broke out of it, nor do I remember much else of the story except that when she told my dad what happened and that she couldn't be around that house anymore, my dad contacted the landlord and informed them that he was backing out of renting the house. Again,
wow, they put so much work into it.
Right, I don't recall all of the outcome, just that they did not rent the house and never did fix it up further than my mom had gotten through that day. As always, you're more welcome to share this on the stream, spookily and scariously. I am Beef Trainer, a.k.a. Annette, who is in the channel right now. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is terrifying, but I think it's a really good decision when you have something that scary happen to you when you're just moving into a place.
Right.
Just be like, you know what? No. Like, we'll find another place. And you will. There's lots of places you can find to rent if you've already found one, so probably a good decision to back out of that. That's just my opinion on it, though.
I can't believe that it was just like, first day, we're going to start trying to fix things up. Ghosts, I'm out.
Ghosts are like, let's see if she's into choking. Nope, she left.
Oh my god. What
Bummer. That's scary, though, man. It's like if you wake up and you're going through sleep paralysis and you feel like something's strangling you, yeah, it's just like, it's a bad omen. You know, it's a bad sign. You're definitely not going to want to be there. So, right on. Thank you so much for sending that in.
All right, so the final email of the episode, I was going to say evening, but you could be watching this during the day if you want to, or listening, or, you know, whatever. The last email of this episode is titled, My Sleep. That's not how you say that. My Sleep Paralysis.
I've never heard sleep with two syllables before. Sleep.
It goes, Hi, Adam and Robin. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Cody Ryan, and I've been listening to you guys off and on for over a year now on Spotify at the suggestion of my friend Caitlin.
Shout out to Spotify. Shout out to Caitlin.
Yeah. I listen to you guys whenever I'm driving or at the gym, which is not always the best time to listen, as you guys will have me cracking up while lifting heavy weights over my head. That's terrifying.
That sound dangerous.
I have since gone back to the beginning, and I'm working my way through all the episodes. Oh, thank you so much.
Nice. Thank you.
I love Storytime episodes because it is so great to hear about other people's experiences, especially when it comes to their sleep paralysis stories. hearing people's sleep paralysis stories
Kinda
is terrifying because people see so many different things, and it makes you wonder if those things are real.
I haven't had sleep paralysis in a while, knock on wood, but I think the reason that I got triggered to have sleep paralysis is because we got so many in a row that I was just like, man, it's just heavily on my brain and in my subconscious now.
I've watched so many sleep paralysis movies, and it kind of freaks me out.
I think those are helpful when you watch like B and C rated horror movies
when they're
that are
bad.
terrible, because you're like, how absurd is this? And it doesn't carry the same weight as being scary because you watched a cheesy horror flick, you know?
Before college, I had no idea what it was and never experienced it. Hearing other listeners' similar experiences and the way they deal with it has helped me a lot. I decided to finally write in and share my stories, so here they are. The first time I ever had sleep paralysis was in my freshman year of college. It was during a short break during Thanksgiving, and I was back home visiting. At the time, I was staying at my grandparents' in a small downstairs bedroom. When I hear downstairs, I'm thinking first floor. Hopefully it doesn't mean basement.
I think basement.
So, small downstairs bedroom that used to belong to my great-grandmother. So there was a lot of old creepy shit down there. Okay, yeah, it does sound like basement. That's probably why. After falling asleep for a few hours, I was stirred awake, or so I thought. I could see the surroundings of the room as I lay there. I started to notice the sound that had woken me up. It was not cars.
If I just lay here. It's chasing cars, just saying.
Yeah, whatever. It's not the point. So, noticed the sound that had woken me up. It started as a faint buzzing, but then grew louder. I then realized it was whispering. Was it like super fast whispering where it's like incoherent, but you can tell like it's somebody just making noises with their mouths?
It's like, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Also, look at this photograph.
Shut up. I tried to sit up and look around the room, but couldn't. I could only lay there and look into the dark. Now all I can hear is if I lay here. God.
Nailed it.
The voices kept getting louder, like they were getting closer to me, but I still couldn't see anyone. I tried so hard to move my body, but failed. I was panicking as the voices surrounded me. I kept trying to break free, and only when it...
All I hear is song lyrics. When you said panicking, I heard Panic at the Disco. We said trying to break free, I heard I want to break free. There's something broken in my brain right now because I'm so fucking tired. I'm sorry.
I kept trying to break free, and only when it sounded like whoever was speaking was right next to me, my eyes flew open, and I shot out of bed. Dude, if I heard a voice right in my ear right next to me, I would freak the F out too. Like, oh my gosh. I raced to flip the light on and looked around the room. There was no one. I could feel my heart racing, and I was trying to calm down. I never could figure out what the voices were saying or if they were even speaking to me. I couldn't get back to sleep that night, so I kept the light on, and I did the next sensible thing that any grown college-age adult would do in that situation. I turned on my computer and watched Pokemon until morning.
That's hilarious.
That's a solid game plan. I love Pokemon.
Pokemon just takes the fright out of the air.
Fast forward to a few weeks later, I am back in my dorm room. I hadn't had any other quote-unquote night terrors as I thought of them, so everything was fine. Finals were approaching, so there was a lot of late-night studying and stress. I decided to call it a night and climbed into my bed. My roommate at the time had not come in yet, which was typical as he was busy with fraternity stuff. I fell asleep only to be once again woken up, this time by my roommate. Once again, I found myself unable to move. I could see my roommate walk into the room and start to get ready for bed. As I watched him move about the room, my eyes shifted to the door he had left open. Why?
Born in a barn, close the door.
And that's when I saw it. Panic set in. I saw a tall figure standing there by the door. Despite this figure being in the doorframe with the light from the hall casting over it, it had no features whatsoever. It was just a shadow. I tried to move, make a noise, anything to alert my roommate, but to no avail. My roommate was still rummaging around, not seeing what I was seeing. The shadow figure started to walk into the room towards me. I'm freaking out at this point and fighting so hard to wake up or do anything. The figure's getting closer to my bed, and suddenly I feel my body move itself to curl into a ball. It seems I was trying to bury myself as far into the mattress as I could. I guess my body bypassed fight or flight and went straight for the fetal position.
That's what it sounds like.
The figure was now over me, and I could do nothing but stare into that dark abyss of a face. I then felt my body start to tremble from fear. The figure stayed there hovering over me. After what felt like an eternity, either from fear or exhaustion, I passed out. I woke up the next morning remembering the previous night and looked to my roommate. I asked him if he noticed anything weird or if he was with anyone when he came in last night. He said no. I didn't bother sharing details with him as he would just think I was weirder than he thought I was.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy though. Like, that's just such a weird experience to have. And I mean, I wonder if your roommate even noticed like how you were acting laying there.
Like, did he notice that you curled up into the fetal position randomly?
Or anything like that, you know? My final sleep paralysis experience came a few years later. I now live in an apartment with my best friend and his girlfriend. Everything's been fine, and I have my own room. Thankful to be away from college dorm life. By this time, I had researched sleep paralysis and finally knowing the correct term and understood it a little. I hadn't had many bad episodes like before, and I had gotten better at breaking free from them. During my last episode, I was laying in bed, slowly working on breaking out of my paralysis. This just reminds me of Haunting at Hill House.
Does it?
Where she constantly has sleep paralysis, and so she dates the sleep tech person.
She dates him because she fell in love with him. Thank you.
Well,
very
yeah,
much. That's
but
just
like
where they met.
But it helped. Like, he helped her get out of her sleep paralysis and stuff like
Right.
that. And that's just what this reminds me of. During my last episode, I was laying in bed, slowly working on breaking out of my paralysis. Just as I was about to be free, I heard the voice of a girl next to my bed, clear as day. She said, "Help me." I turned the light on and saw no one.
Fucking creepy.
The phrase "help me" is very terrifying. I had goosebumps all over and once again slept with a light on. Ever since having these experiences, I find there are times where I feel like I'm not alone and am actually being watched. That's terrifying. Thankfully, I have not had any more episodes for over a year, but if any more should happen, I'll be sure to write you guys. Hope you enjoyed these stories, and feel free to share on the podcast. Love you guys and appreciate what you do. Keep on creeping on, Cody. Thank you so much for sharing your stories.
It makes me happy that when creepy stuff happens to people, they have an outlet to let people know, hey, this happened to me. Because as much as it might seem like self-serving, it's like, it's so nice that we have a monopoly on the horror that you all experience. It is nice to know that there's like a place you can reach out to. Like, I have a person where if I wake up and I had a nightmare, I can wake her up and say, hey, I had a nightmare, and she can ignore me and tell me she doesn't care. And if you don't have someone that'll tell you that, like your roommate basically, you were worried about judging you, you can always write into us and say, hey, this happened. It was super creepy. It's like, I'm okay now. At the time, it was terrifying. And some people even write into us like, this just happened. And I'm just happy that we have that outlet for you and that some of you folks choose to use it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you one more time to everyone who sent in their emails for this episode. We sincerely appreciate you. If you have an email you'd like to send us or a story you would like to share with us, please email storytime@scarish.com or go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us. Fill out that form. It comes directly to us. Or you can hit us up on any of our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter is @scarishpod, and Instagram is @scarishpodcast. If you're at our Facebook, go ahead and join the Spooky Friends group. We have tons of stuff that goes through there. Lots of them are spooky memes. Some of them are not. And if you're looking for just some more, I guess, live interaction, you can head over to our Discord. We have like 350 people in our Discord now. We have a bunch of channels. We have channels you have to just request to be put into because we have spoiler chats for things like Haunting of Hill House and multiple other programs. We have a Disney Nerds one. Then we have stuff that's related to scary stuff. So go ahead and check that out. Best way to do so is to go to scarish.com. And then there's a banner at the top that says join us on Discord scrolling by. Just click that. There's a link. It'll take you directly to it. For anyone who would like to donate to us monetarily, Robin, how can they do so?
You can go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. Those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1. So if you want some ad-free episodes, that's a great place to go. We also have different physical merch tiers as well. You can also go to Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast, and those are one-time donations. And all your donations, whether that be through those services or while we're doing our live streams or anything like that, they go to helping us upgrade our studio setup and kind of keep the podcast going and give us more time to do what we love, which is research and spooky stuff.
And bring you folks content. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you to everyone who watched live. Thank you to everyone who listened to it in podcast form. If you're watching over there on youtube.com/scarish, we appreciate you. We hit 1,000 followers during the stream, which means we just need some more watched hours under our channel's belt. and then we're going to make it to YouTube Partner. So if you typically listen in a different place, we encourage you to go ahead and try and check out an episode at youtube.com/scaryish. Same content, but the hours that you listen will count towards our total, and that would definitely help. So I would recommend, or ask, just ask, if everyone could listen to one episode on youtube.com/scaryish. I know YouTube can be kind of a pain in the ass because if you minimize it, you stop hearing it or whatever. But if you're listening at work or at the gym or anything like that and you think you can pull it off, it would certainly help us. Otherwise, just listen wherever you can, and we 100% appreciate you. So.
YouTube Premium allows you to...
I've had YouTube Premium for about 2 years, and I forgot that if you minimize it or lock your phone, that you can't hear it without YouTube Premium. So to me, it's just like, oh yeah, like I use YouTube Music or YouTube for literally everything now. And then I see folks like, oh, I hate YouTube because I can't lock it. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I had to pay for that. But it's kind of a good deal. You get access to a bunch of Google shit too. I'm not sponsored by them. I just enjoy their services. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much to everyone. We appreciate every single one of you. And that's everything we have for Storytime number 137, I believe. So Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.